Okay, Zee, how are you?
Fine.
Macam mana puasa? Puasa So far okay
Okay.
Makan apa hari ni?
Ada apa? Nasi berlari.
So far buka puasa, buka kedai bukan puasa?
Buka kedai. So for fasting month, teenage shit, kita adjust sikit. Is from a business point of perspective lah. We adjust from 4 to 10 just to give people a chance. Lepas buka, you got nothing to do, you can still drop by and buy.
4 to 10 lah
4 to 10, yes. On
So
fasting month lah.
lepas tarawih apa semua boleh singgah lah.
Yes. Tarawih kau isyak dulu pun boleh. Lepas tu datang sini, balik pun boleh tarawih. Sama je cerita dia.
Okay. So apa kita ada sekarang?
Tak, I mean that time when you message me something about want to do like 10 favorite record. My 10 favorite record lah.
Yes.
The problem with this 10 favorite record is hari ni kau tanya aku gini, aku will give you a list. 1 hour later, if you were to ask me again, I might change the whole list. So that's the problem with top 10 records.
Okay.
You always change. So instead of like, what I'm giving you now is top 10 records yang ada story behind it that I can find at the record store. So the first 10.
Okay, sure.
So I'm gonna start off with this. This actually fire hose. Fire hose. Okay. Sometimes, almost always. Fire hose ni the band is Mike Watt from Pemilik band. So this is his band after when Pemilik band split up. So fire hose ni, this is very momentous record because this is actually the first record that I bought with my own money.
Oh, okay.
Before that, it was like, hands me down, yang aku jumpa dekat tong sampah lah, mana lah. It's all hands me down. So this is actually the first record yang aku ingat.
Okay, do it
as much
money sendiri.
I actually use my own money. That time, aku ingat aku was like doing some intern thingy for like this computer shop in Singapore. So there was a record store on second story. So that aku dah beli record player. So aku pergi bawah. So with that internship money, aku beli.
Boleh dapat lagi album ni?
I don't know. Maybe dah susah lah aku nak dapat lah.
Ada ratio apa lagi lah?
No ratio. This is actually a single, a 10-inch single.
Oh, okay.
So this is actually my first record that I bought.
Record yang ada memori betul-betul
memory,
ni
betul memory. So you know what they say about record, right? Like macam they say you always forget your first girlfriend, but you will never forget your first record.
Alamak.
So I stand by that lah.
Okay. Next kita ada.
Okay, so the next record yang aku nak tunjuk is like always like a good vocalist. Dia vocal, like back then bila kau dengar say Nirvana Nevermind for example. No one like Nirvana Nevermind was like a good band, a good grunge band. But no one pernah puji like Kurt Cobain punya vocals. Because vocal is the yang paling depan sekali. So a good vocalist will like make the band super stand up. So Kurt Cobain has a very good like growl. Dia macam when he shout, dia ada macam that. But my favorite vocalist ada a few lah. Like Bob Moore from Muzik.
Sugar.
We have from Sugar. Yes, correct. Then after they become Sugar. Then after that I got Granley Phillips, Granley Buffalo, and then who else? Bowie is a good vocalist, but if push comes to shove, Greg Dulli is actually my favorite vocalist. Greg Dulli is this guy. Dia punya suara dia macam dia ada that serak
husky,
and it's so cool lah. Greg Dulli ni.
Ini band ke? Dia single band.
So they were like kind of grunge, but then it would be too unfair to call them grunge. They were too cool for grunge lah.
Seattle.
Yeah, sorry?
Seattle.
No, they are not from Seattle, but they came out during that era lah.
Oh, during that era.
But then before that, they already have an album, but Greg Dulli is such a cool singer. He's my favorite singer lah in terms of voice in rock and roll. I think Greg Dulli tops.
Tak banyak orang tahu ni.
Yes, Greg Dulli.
Seriously.
The album itself is actually Afghan Weeks is like this band yang macam dia macam cult follow lah. Dia tak berapa popular, but
so, macam ada satu album dia breakthrough je kan?
Yes, Gentleman was like the album lah if you ask me lah. But if you ask me, Greg Dulli is a fantastic singer. And then the Mavericks, you talking about good vocals, right? Man, I tell you, this is a good country album, man. Aku suka Raul Malo. Raul Malo is actually one of the singer yang has that Elvis Presley punya, foolish. He has that really that
Tone.
vocal tone. And then this is a good album. And then you're talking about, say macam, kenapa kau dengar vinyl? Vinyl, pasal this vinyl kadang sound dia sedap. Okay, not all records, some records. And this is one of the record yang is superb sounding. This is so good on vinyl. Kau boleh dengar dia punya hi-hat and the snare. This album. Not a lot of people know about this, but this is one of my...
You still can get them every...
This is like, the band is still, I think still around, but one of this country album actually.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing lah. Aku problem ni minat terlampau banyak sangat music. Even country, alt country, things like J-Hawk, but it's a fantastic sounding record. Kalau kau have been testing your turntable lah, dengan Pink Floyd, asyik try this. Seriously, this is a good sounding vinyl. Next record, Lilis. Again, in fact, most of this record yang aku akan tunjuk kau is macam nak cakap dia tak ramai orang tahu. I won't be showing you Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, or I won't be showing you The Clash or the Rancid. That's too obvious. Nanti video kau nanti jadi boring. So I'll be showing you lesser known bands actually. So the Release, one of my favorite indie band, they're from US. That during that bila orang cakap the term college rock, right?
Yes.
College rock is like this band like macam Replacement,
early
before all this grunge thingy. College rock was like, I love college rock. My voices, there. So Lilis is one of this band, and this is if you ask me, one of my favorite EP. Dia kadang-kadang album ni, album ni kadang-kadang panjang sangat kan. Aku suka kadang I like a good EP, like 4-5 songs. Very good, short, sweet, main, dengar, lepas tu dah, So it's like short and sweet. Aku love a good EP, a good 5-6 songs. Tak payah kau tak payah nak drag. Macam kau pergi dengar, like double LP or something. Aku kadang, some days, some point of the days you like that kind of album, but at some point you just need something short and sweet. And this is a perfect college rock punya EP.
Ada lagi band tak ada?
Lilis probably they still around, but I don't know. I think maybe no longer. But this is like great EP lah. I love this EP.
A brief history of amazing letdown.
So the next record, like macam aku always say to people, like every generation mesti ada this one weirdo lah, like this guy to push the boundary of music, like like back then you had Syd Barrett, then you have Zappa, where people who like then after that you had the Troutmas replica albums yang bila kau dengar macam the first time orang like what the heck,
pelik
nak mampus, like. But if you realize every generation must have one. They are the ones who will push the boundary. Push the boundary. Even Sonic Youth, when they started out, they were like, with all the new wave, the no wave punya band, DNA and Mars and Teenage Jesus. So these are the bands that pushes.
Experimenting apa semua kan. Explore, eksperimen kan.
So for aku, when I was growing up, Butthole Surfers was the coolest. The coolest. They had that experimental thingy, but they are still see bila when they came out, it was during that grunge era, somewhere around there. But they still have that grunge vibe about them, but they are weird.
People say they are grunge juga lah kan. Sebab dia during the era kan.
It will be. Dia kadang-kadang ni aku nak pigeonhole ni kadang susah. When people say grunge, what's grunge? I always say that Soundgarden is always the
benchmark.
It's grunge band. But do you call Smashing Pumpkin grunge? Do you call Butthole Surfers? I mean, if you want to call it grunge, please carry on. But I'll just say them like weird rock and roll lah. It's But Lower Surfer is always the coolest.
Yep.
Yeah, so diorang macam like, so this is the Zappa of my when I was growing up.
Zappa of your generation lah.
Zappa when I was growing up. Okay, next record is
Pitati.
probably
Bukan Pitati.
probably one of my favorite punk album. They were technically more post-punk rather than punk lah. But this album is like from first to last. It's a great album. It's a great punk album. Wire, Pink Flag.
Nice.
Pink Flag by Wire. Talking about post-punk. Punk was alright. Aku suka lah punk. I mean, everybody grew up.
Post-punk tu kan? Joy Division.
You know,
so semua.
You see, when punk, when you're talking about the first wave, the Sex Pistols and the Clash and the, and then there was hardcore. But then, aku always find post-punk more intriguing because post-punk ni, it's not really a sound. People always mistook post-punk as a sound. They always thought like, post-punk ni macam Joy Division, which is not. Post-punk is actually an era. It's an era when punk died.
Yes.
Just before New Wave, there's this whole period where all the coolest music is in post-punk. Which is, example, Wire. Then after that, there's Gang of Four, there's Jesus and Mary Chain, there's Joy Division, there's New Order. Post-punk is the best period in music, if you ask me. Period.
Yes.
Because that period is yang kalau kau dengar all these modern alternative band, most of the influences are all from post-punk.
Yes.
Not from punk, from post-punk. You look at Strokes was from Television. You look at this one was from Wire. You look at another band,
Bauhaus.
Post-punk, Bauhaus. All that band. Post-punk is the coolest band. Aku selalu cakap like I think like few years back, I think one guy came into the store and like was talking to me, which is the best period in music? Aku suka question macam gitu. Banyak, kau tanya aku banyak. Rock during that King Crimson, Pink Floyd time or cool bands. Grunge had a lot of like, good bands coming out. That college rock, that replacement punya period, that 80s R.E.M. Aku suka that era. I also like the early 2000 punya that indie explosion, the Strokes.
Yes.
When Strokes was coming up, aku like that period. But if you like name one, is that post-punk. Within 1979 until 1981. In fact, all the seeds of alternative rock was planted there.
Yes.
Sonic Youth was planted there during that with the No Wave the band. That post-punk period is the best period ever. Okay, now talk about
record.
Bila aku pergi like MCOT Mall, aku pergi Collectors Market, aku ada two weaknesses. Okay, one is Bowie, the other one is this guy, Wilson Pickett. I don't know why. Every time I see Wilson Pickett, don't ask me why. Like, it's just that I just like Wilson Pickett. He's a cool dude. He's a groovy musician. He's a when you're talking about soul R&B, man, Wilson Pickett the man. Like, I think even like kau dengar songs like In the Midnight Hour or Mustang Sally for that matter, this aku kalau jumpa Wilson Pickett for Selalu aku akan beli. I don't know why. And Bowie, so these two. Okay, now we go to like this guy, Rufus Wainwright. This is just a good album. Aku remember the first time I like dengar Rufus Wainwright was like years back, and then the first thing that aku get was this Magical Mystery Tour Beatles punya vibe, with the trombone and the tuba and the whole orchestration. And then he's a good songwriter. I love his song, Rufus. So you guys check out this album.
Album baru ke?
No, this is a whole album. He had a couple of albums after that, but doesn't quite measure to this lah. One, this is a
good. Sebab apa? Music, composition ke, sound ke?
Sorry.
Dia sebab sound ke, music ke?
It's music, just good music, man. It's just good, and then it has that symphonic thingy, Magical Mystery Tour kind of like this vibe. Very, it's damn good album lah. You guys got
This something new, Rufus.
Yes, Rufus Wainwright. So this is my recommendation. Kalau misalnya kau
Right.
tak tahu apa lagi nak dengar kan,
Yes.
on Spotify or what, check out Rufus Wainwright. One album. It's a cool album.
Macam mana kau discover ni? Album ni?
Again, this was one of the
Discover
yang, you know, back then you listen to new music. That's the thing about new music. You should always check out. So macam aku dah tunjukkan kau album ni kan, semua band lama-lama kan.
Yang why not this one macam kau discover macam mana?
Just one of these thing yang kau baca review somewhere magazine, then kau check them out, then you fall in love with it.
Okay.
So one of these, in fact banyak album macam gitu. Aku kalau nak cakap dengan kau album yang macam aku explore dan aku end up loving it, tak habis weh. I think jam 12 jam.
Apa, kita buat second session.
So macam tadi kan, lagu ni semua banyak yang lama-lama. Aku cakap like, you always need new music.
Yes, kan true lah.
Tidak kau boring. Asalnya kau dengar band yang kau grow up. Aku selalu advise orang like, always
balik kau play.
Balik this same bands. Aku like, I grew up with the early 2000 punya band, and then like, sampai aku pun fed up dah dengar set Strokes Monkeys, you know. Sometimes I need new bands. And this album, Run the Jewels, LP, made out of two guys, LP and Killer Mike. This album, I tell you, the last good hip hop album yang aku dengar was most probably Low End Theory, probably. Track called Quest.
Itu macam spoken word kan?
No, it's a jazzy hip hop album. So that was a good, but my favorite hip hop album until this came. Run the Jewel. And then Run the Jewel ni, the Killer Mike ni, very political.
Ini boleh dapat lagi ya?
Boleh.
Boleh order lah
So with all the things that be going with the Black Lives Matters dekat US and all the riot dekat US and everything that's going on there, I think this is probably the album for this generation. This is like, it's like so political. It's like bila kau dengar Public Enemy, you know. Oh man, you know, it's like you want to do something. You want to change the world.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, that's what music is supposed to be, right?
Yes.
Kau bila the first time kau dengar say U2 for that matter, the early U2, you know, kau macam want to like, you know, you want to change the world, you know. So this album makes you want to change the world.
Sebab
you want to do something about it. You want to you know, be political. You want to kalau kau nak aku explain sound dia, kalau it's like a hip hop super group man. Kalau kau cakap aku KRS-One with Jay-Z with Ice Cube, you know, doing an album but with modern beats. Maknanya none of that old school hip hop beats, but new modern beats. This is the album. Okay. So that's a rough description of this album lah. Seriously, this is a
recommended,
highly recommended. One of the new hip hop band yang aku suka gila lah. So the next record ni, aku just pick up because aku tadi tengah like choose the record, right? And aku like, should I include one more?
Aku suruh choose kat rumah.
Should I include one more boring old bands? Aku cakap no, I think I'm gonna choose a new band. Right, country, New Road.
Okay,
check them out. If you like, this is one band. Dia bila band tu kau tak boleh describe macam band tu satu, okay, ni band apa ni? Oh, ni band metal, ni band indie, ni band hip hop. Senang tau. This ada kind of band yang kau tak boleh describe.
Okay,
kau nak kena dengar. Dia macam kind of like psychedelic. Lepas tu dia ada saxophone. Aku dah lama aku tak dengar music. The last time aku get macam like goosebump bila aku dengar music was probably dulu bila aku first kali aku dengar Sonic Youth. Macam kau dengar, shit, ni apa music ni? You know, kau macam, ni because dulu aku grew up with glam rock. Everybody grew up with glam rock. Everybody our age grew up with Skid Row, Guns N' Roses, all that radio friendly song. So when Sonic Youth came, when aku terdengar Sonic Youth macam
lain ke? Apa ni kan?
Lepas tu then it grows on you tau. So this ada kind of band, dia kind of like psychedelic with saxophone. Lepas tu kalau kau pernah dengar another band yang you should check out, yang probably diorang punya peer lah, you know, is Comet is Coming kan.
Comet is Coming.
Comet Coming. Dia ada that post-punk punya feel about it. So this album.
Album baru ini.
Album baru. So this is new band.
Boleh dapat, boleh order lah boleh order ke apa
band, you know. They're weird but they're great. So
highly recommend.
highly recommended. Yes. Black Country, New Road. Check out this.
Berapa album dia ni?
So far I think one.
One
Yeah. So this is their first album. I think they have one EP or somewhere, but this album gila-gila lah. So see, even Vivid and Intimate by The Guardian, Utterly Spellbinding by Quietus. It's on Ninja Tune. Ninja Tune is this label yang from UK dia label. Back then they had like all this cool electronic punya label. Ninja Tune, they keep putting out like DJ Food and stuff like that. Ninja Tune. So this is in fact, let me put this up. If you guys are dying for some new music, check this too. Yes.
Yep. Highly recommend. Yep.
Highly recommended. Lagi satu aku plug, ni Jameson CD, itu baru release.
Jameson band new kan.
Oh Cintaku. So this is band baru dia. In fact, if you ask me, Jameson is, I prefer Jameson to OCK.
Because macam ada rock punya vibe ni, rock.
Dia ada glam rock. You see, that's the thing about aku miss glam rock punya time
kan.
where the artist really wants to be artist. Really showing, really show off. They are like, they are like, and I think Mio is one of that guy where, he really wants to be a rock star. So, he's very flashy and very... So this one we just released, I don't know, a couple of weeks back. So cool glam rock stuff actually. Cool.
Boleh beli from the website lah
So macam like Mio ni, dia punya kelakar dia macam ni lah, macam kau jangan sembang kari lah. He's very like, street language so called, market Malay, macam kau dengar macam apa-apa saja, macam like, it's a cool CD actually. So you can get it here. Teenage Shade, we just released it 1-2 weeks back.
Latest Sentiasa punya ni apa dah Okay Zee, so lama ni. Ini
lama kan?
Lama. Kita kena buat satu session lagi lah.
Next time kau datang lagi setengah jam. Kalau kau tanya aku top 10 records, aku akan pilih another top 10.
Lain pula.
So these are the kind of questions. That's why aku tak suka orang tanya kau, what's your favourite band? Man, banyak sangat weh. What's your favourite record? Banyak sangat. Aku kalau kasih kau, tapi kalau kau tanya aku top 10 record, probably aku dah miss Jayhawks, aku miss The Clash, aku miss banyak weh.
Okay lah.
Ini kalau kau nak tanya aku top 10 record 10 episode pun tak habis.
Kita buat satu session lagi nanti.
No problem.
Okay, thanks.
Alright, thank you very much.
Okay, selamat berpuasa.
Sama-sama.